I wish to welcome everyone to I'll try again, I'll speak proper English this time. I'd like to welcome everyone to the December meeting of the Corporate and Community Development Committee. Standing committees are held as part of the council meeting process in order for committees to consider reports prepared by council officers and to make recommendations regarding these reports to the monthly council meeting. Council's delegates on the Corporate and Community Development Committee are Mayor Kennedy, Deputy Mayor Hickey, Councillor Boland Chairperson, Councillor Allgate, Councillor Gillett and Councillor Jewett. All councillors undertook an oath or affirmation at the beginning of their term of office and declared to undertake the duties of the office of councillor in best interest of the people of the Broken Hill local government area and the city of Broken Hill, and will faithfully and impartially carry out functions, powers, authorities and discretions vested in them under the Local Government Act 1993 or any act to the best of their ability and judgment. The committee meeting is being live streamed via YouTube and recorded and published online via Council's website. To those present in the meeting today, by attending in this public meeting, you are consenting to your image, voice and comments being recorded and published. The chairperson and/or general manager have the authority to pause the live stream if comments or debate are considered defamatory or otherwise inappropriate for publishing. Participants are advised that they may be subject to legal action if they engage in unlawful behaviour or commentary. I have item 2, apologies and leave of absence. I have 1 leave of absence from Deputy Mayor Hickey provided for this meeting for a prescribed motions. As there's no other, everyone else is here. Move that, Councillor Allgate. Seconded, Councillor Gillett. All those in favour? Carried. Now call on Mayor Kennedy to deliver the prayer.
Almighty God, we ask you to invoke your blessing upon this council. Direct and prosper our deliberations to the advancement and true welfare of the people of the council area, our state and Australia. Amen.
Thank you, Mayor. Now call on Councillor Gillett to deliver the acknowledgement of country.
We acknowledge the traditional owners of the land upon which we meet today, the land of the Willikali people, and pay our respects to their elders, past, present and emerging.
Thank you. Now call on Councillor Jewett to deliver the acknowledgement of Broken Hill's mining history.
Thank you, Chair. We take time to reflect, remember and honour the over 800 miners that lost their lives and those that were crippled or maimed on the line of load. We thank the brave miners and their wives who were part of the 1919 to 1920 strike that lasted over 500 days and delivered a 35-hour working week. Mining is our past and future. Thank you, Councillor Jewett. Item 6, minutes for confirmation that the minutes of the Community Development Committee meeting held the 18th of November 2025 be confirmed. Do I have a move for those minutes?
Move the minutes.
Councillor Allgate, seconded. Councillor Jewett. And no discussion on that, Councillor Allgate. All those in favour, declare that carried. Item 7, disclosures of interest. Is there any disclosures of interest? Nil disclosures of interest. Item 8, reports. Report number 1, Broken Hill City Council, report number 227-25 dated November 26, 2025. Minutes of the Broken Hill-led reference group, 3rd of September 2025. Do I have a move for that recommendation?
Move the recommendation.
Move, Councillor Allgate. Seconded. Mayor Kennedy would like to talk on that report. Councillor Allgate.
Only to say that I noticed in the report that a lot of the children, before the age of 5, from 6 months to 5, I think it was, that the number of children with above the recognised level had diminished, had decreased, and the same generally. So, in that respect, that part of it's fine.
Thank you, Councillor Allgate. And I'll just note as well that the testing's gone up as well. So it's a better result over a larger testing area. Mayor Kennedy?
Yeah, just I forget the member's name, but the Greens member that was in the city and then did a post or a social media where she was talking about lead in the city and the effects of lead on the city, and then tried to tie it in with Aboriginal children living in Aboriginal housing along Eyre Street. I think it needs to be pointed out quite clearly that that is not Aboriginal housing, that is housing along Eyre Street that affects all members of the community. So I'll just add a second or an end part to that we do write off to the Greens member explaining that lead is an issue for all children in Broken Hill, and the housing along Crystal Street and Eyre Street, which you referred to, is not Aboriginal housing, it's just general population housing.
Thank you, Mayor Kennedy. Okay with that, mover? Yes, the last committee was held a couple of weeks ago, and certainly it was race wasn't discussed. It was we have the reports from Marima, that's for certain, but the housing and who owns the housing isn't discussed. So it was, yeah, I heard those comments. And
well, Aboriginal housing is not in that area. There's Aboriginal Murdy Parky owns housing out in Creedon Street. It owns other housing around the city. Eyre Street and Crystal Street are not precincts that are owned by Aboriginal Land Council or Aboriginal corporate bodies of any description. There may be Aboriginal people that own housing in that area, but it is not Aboriginal owned housing.
No, 100% agree. Any further comments on that? Councillor Gillett.
In reply to the mayor, I think that was actually Kate Behrman. Was that it? That's who it was? Yeah.
Thank you, Councillor Gillett.
Just
Mayor
on
Kennedy?
that, so she did actually meet with me. The general manager was there, so she was made quite well aware of this before she went out on social media and made those statements.
Thank you, Mayor. It doesn't surprise me with the Greens. All those in favour of that motion, declare that carried.
Just on to that.
Yep.
That doesn't mean she wasn't helpful in pushing our cause, but don't use one cause to try to drum up another cause, because we appreciate all help we can get as a community to help with our lead issues, and we appreciate the Greens member for bringing that up, but don't try and turn one issue that affects all of Broken Hill into another politically motivated issue separate from lead in general.
Yeah, 100% agree with that as well. Item 2, Broken Hill City Council report number 228-25 dated November 20th, 2025, section 355, Ageing Well Advisory Committee minutes of meeting held 5 November 2025. Do I have a move for that recommendation?
Move the recommendation.
Move Councillor Allgate. Seconder. Councillor Jewett, would you like to talk on that, Councillor Allgate?
Only to mention a couple of things that were raised in the during the course of the meeting. It was a pretty quiet meeting, but there quite a few were expressing some excitement about the council applying for funds, grant funding, to hold the Seniors Week and the Seniors Expo. All of those who represent aged care in the city that were in attendance were extremely appreciative of the council's efforts in that respect, which was a good thing. The other bit of news was that at the North Mine, what used to be the North Mine Hall in Queen Elizabeth Park, they're going to open a dementia-friendly cafe on Thursdays. They haven't got the staff to do it just at the moment, but that's in the pipeline, due to start within the next week or two. So providing people are aware of it, that might give some people an opportunity to socialise with people, with like-minded people. The big issue has always been transport, and it's not resolved, and it won't be resolved in the short term, I'm sure. There are lots of problems with transport of elderly people, both to and from the hospital. While some patients have been conveyed to the hospital for treatment, they have then suffered because there's no transport back home. And given that there's only one taxi on occasions at one time, that's a real problem. What used to be the Live Better bus apparently operates on bookings, mainly bookings, and it's difficult for people to get in touch with that at short notice. So there's a whole lot of things that are tied up with lack of transport, and the ability to coordinate rideshare and taxi services and all the rest of it to not only pick up people that are in the CBD, but also from those elderly people that might be going to hospital, doctors or whatever, including the Clyde Bishop Medical Centre. And I suppose the most important news that was tabled was that there are no, at the time of the last meeting, there were no patients in hospital awaiting placement in aged care beds, which is a big improvement. When going back a few months, there was up to 25 people consuming beds that others could have used. So it's a bit of good news all around. And whilst there is some good news, the Ageing Well Committee is floundering because of the lack of understanding and of the new Aged Care Act. Everybody's up in the air. They're not sure of what's going on. It seems to be this particular act has been massive changes within it and dropped. People were warned about it, but were never given the appropriate lead up to the act itself. And a lot of people appear to be floundering. And I've mentioned before about the fee increases. There's still no exact clarity or accurate clarity about that. I know the Mayor made comment of that at one of the meetings recently, but that's a real worry for a lot of people. Thanks.
Thank you, Councillor Olga. Yes, certainly a concern. And I was in Sydney last week for work, and they were even concerned there. I mean, the resources we know that major city's got, and people didn't understand what was coming out there, how it was going to affect them. The age in place was quite a concern, even in Sydney as well. So it's a concern right across the nation that such a large change just been jumped on. What quite frankly is some of the most vulnerable people in the country. Is there any further comments on that report, Mayor Kennedy?
Yeah, I think this is another instance where we should be writing off to the local member, the local health district, as well as our local member, stating that the difficulties with getting transport to and from the hospital and the effect that could have on health. It's fine for everything to come back to council when it comes to getting around the city, but the reality is this is a health concern, and perhaps it might be up to the hospital to make sure that there is some form of transport to and from the hospital to make sure that people, when they do get to the hospital, they can get home, or if need be, used to get to the hospital, and whether that's going through a second provider like Live Better or someone else, but there needs to be something done from the health minister. We can put that through our local member and directly to the health minister, but also to the local district health as well, because it's all right for people to come to council, but council aren't responsible for health. But ultimately we will be, because when people start saying that we can't get to and from the hospital, who do they look to? They look to the local council to provide a solution to that, when the solution needs to be provided by the state government for health reasons.
Mayor Kennedy, you happy to add that to that recommendation, Councillor Olga?
More than happy.
Thank you. Who was the seconder on that one? Stuart, are you happy to second that? If there's no further comment on that item, I'll put that to a vote. All those in favour, declare that carried. Item number 3, Broken Hill City Council Report number 229-25, dated November 18, 2025, Section 355, Youth Advisory Committee minutes of meeting held 11 November 2025. To have a move for that recommendation. Move Councillor Jewett, seconded Mayor Kennedy. Would you like to talk on that, Councillor Jewett?
Just briefly, I wasn't able to attend that meeting in person or online. But yeah, it is a pretty passionate committee. Just judging by the minutes, can say they're just continuing to follow up with getting things rolling. So I'll look forward to the next meeting.
Thank you, Councillor Jewett. Any further comments on that? There's no further comments. Put that to the vote. All those in favour, declare it carried. Item number 4, Broken Hill City Council Report number 230-25 dated November 14, 2025, Section 355, Memorial Oval Community Committee Minutes of Meeting held 13 October 2025. Do I have a move for that recommendation?
Move the recommendation.
Move Councillor Allgate, seconder. Secondly, Councillor Jewett. Would you like to talk on that, Councillor Allgate?
Only to mention the matter of costings that apply to the use of Memorial Oval, and the fact that, as the Mayor pointed out just recently, that the electricity costs are way out of the reach of the hire fee. And apart from that, I think the Mayor had made comment.
Thank you, Councillor Allgate. Any further comments on that? Mayor
Yeah, look,
Kennedy?
Yeah, just with that committee, just besides that, a lot of the committee that are involved and the stakeholders in there aren't always aware of exactly what's going on at that committee. For example, the Central Football Club are very interested in finding out schedules for lighting and all that, but that's where it should be coming from, that committee. So it's an important committee that needs to have more information. There's a lot of stakeholders in that committee, and the stakeholders are big users of the Oval. If you're going to have big users and you want them to pay the fees that they need to pay to make sure that the Oval is being used at the rate it should be to make sure at least break even, then you need to make sure that those people are well aware of any infrastructure or the costs of infrastructure that are going in, so they just completely understand the amount of resources that go into that Oval.
Thank you, Mayor Kennedy. Any further comments on that? There's no further comments. Put that to the vote. All those in favour, declare that carried. There's item 9, confidential matters. There's no confidential matters. As there's no further business of the committee to consider, I declare the Corporate and Community Development Committee